They were unstoppable. Highlight machines, fan favorites, and future legends. But then, something changed. Injuries, bad trades, off-court drama, or just losing that edge. These NBA studs went from rising stars to major letdowns. One day they dropped 30 points a night. Next, they vanished from the spotlight. What happened? Where did it go wrong? Today we are breaking down the most significant falls from greatness in the history of the NBA. And trust me, some of these names will shock you. Let's start with a big man who seemed like a perfect fit in Phoenix, but suddenly vanished from the spotlight, Ysef Nerkage. When Nerkage got traded to the Suns as part of the DeAndre Ayton deal, fans were hopeful.
Took a lot of pressure in late game situations in the playoffs off Giannis with the clear.
Because he's got to be happy. They're down below that foul line time and time again. Come on, they've got to take advantage.
7 Milwaukee points.
No, that was just very good ball movement.
Here's Booker. Got it to go.
He wasn't just a body in the paint. He was tough and physical and brought something the Suns were missing. In his first season with them, he played the most games on the team, was a strong presence inside, and even helped the team's weak defense look a little better. He wasn't putting up crazy numbers, but he was doing the dirty work. Then the new season came, and he forgot how to play. In just a few games, it became clear that something was off. He was missing easy shots, his field goal percentage was terrible for a center, and his movement looked slower than ever. People thought it was a rough patch and he'd return to form, but instead of getting better, it got worse. He lost his starting job, sat out over a dozen games, and his relationship with the coach seemed to hit rock bottom. By the trade deadline, the Suns didn't just ship him out. They had to attach a draft pick to his contract to get another team to take him. He went from an important piece to a player dumped on a rebuilding team. While Nurkic's fall was surprising, he's not the only one. Another player who took a sharp turn in the wrong direction is Bam Adebayo. When Bam entered the league, he was known for being a tough defender, a great passer, and someone who stuck to what he was good at. But something changed. Instead of doing what worked, he started taking more outside shots. And not just mid-range, he started chucking up threes, trying to be something he never was. The Heat were trying to evolve their offense, moving away from isolation plays to more spacing and shooting. But Bam lost what made him special in trying to fit into that mold. His numbers dropped, shooting became a problem, and the Heat's playoff run ended early. It wasn't just about missing shots. He was trying to do too much. Handle the ball, create plays, take threes. Things he never had to do before. And it showed. His strengths were getting buried under all these new responsibilities. It's hard to watch because he still gives everything on defense and remains a strong rebounder. But when your offensive game falls apart, it overshadows the rest. And speaking of players trying to do too much too soon, the next name had a lot of promise, but not everyone's built to carry that kind of pressure. That next name is Brandon Podziemski. His rookie year with the Warriors was filled with hope. He played smart, hit tough shots, and even replaced Klay Thompson in the starting lineup. People were calling him the future of the franchise. The front office loved him so much that they made it clear he was untouchable in trade talks. That's how highly they rated him. But just one season later, everything changed. In his second year, Podziemski faced something that many young players struggle with: the weight of expectations. After being praised, he returned, trying too hard to be perfect. Instead of growing naturally, he began forcing plays. His decision-making, once seen as a strength, started to look like a weakness. He committed careless turnovers and made strange passes that didn't belong in a pro game. His shooting also dipped, and the confidence he once had seemed to disappear. Even his coach and teammates began calling him out, not to be harsh, but to wake him up. He wasn't being benched or cut from the team, but it was clear that the player who once looked so composed was now struggling to find his rhythm. This is what they call the sophomore slump. And for Podziemski, it hit hard. While Brandon was dealing with mental pressure, another player fell off for different reasons. Montrezl Harrell used to be one of the most exciting bench players in the league.
Just look at him. That was a foul, by the way. But guess what? He said, y'all gonna foul me?
high energy, strong drives, and a scoring machine against other second units. He even won the 6th Man of the Year award and was one of the main reasons the Clippers had the best bench in the league. But things fell apart quickly. In the playoffs, teams figured him out. They realized he couldn't guard well in the pick and roll, and that his lack of outside shooting made him easier to contain. He went from a key player to someone who couldn't be trusted in big games. His minutes started dropping, and even when he moved to the Lakers and other teams, he never got that same spark back. The worst part came when he tore his ACL during training camp with the Sixers. For a player already going downhill, that injury was a massive blow. He was already losing minutes and value, and now with a serious injury, it was almost impossible to return. Eventually, Harrell had no choice but to take his game overseas, and just like that, his NBA journey was over. Watching these players fade away shows how fragile an NBA career can be. One season you're at the top of your game, and the next you're out of the rotation or worse, out of the league. And sometimes even a good contract can't save you. This brings us to a player who signed a huge deal and somehow managed to become more of a burden than a help. That player is Jeremy Grant. Many people were confused when he left the Denver Nuggets for the Detroit Pistons. He had just played a significant role on a playoff team and looked like a perfect fit alongside Jokic, but he wanted to be more than a role player. He wanted to be the main guy. So he chose a team that gave him a bigger role and a bigger contract.
Jeremy Grant is signing a 3-year, $60 million deal, not with the Denver Nuggets, but with the Detroit Pistons. Now, there have been a couple of deals thus far, as we're only a few hours into NBA free agency, that have left me scratching my head. A little bit of money, more spent than I would have. But hey, man, teams are making decisions that they think is best for their franchise going forward.
At first, things seemed to go well. He scored over 20 points a game and finally got the spotlight he wanted. But the Pistons weren't winning. And as the years passed, it became clear that while Grant could score, he wasn't the kind of player who could carry a team. Now with the Trailblazers, things have gotten even worse. His scoring has dropped, his shooting is down, and his fit with the young core no longer makes sense. He takes too many shots for someone who isn't producing, and he's not improving the team. He's slowing their growth. Portland gave him a massive contract, and now it's looking like one of the worst deals in the league. The team is moving toward a future built around its young talent. Grant, who once wanted to be a lead star, now stands in the way. He's not a bad player, but he's no longer the difference maker he hoped to be. Sadly, this isn't a rare story. Like Jeremy, another big man in the league followed a similar path. He started as an important part of a rebuilding team, but as that team got better, his role faded fast, and before he knew it, he became almost invisible on the court. That player is Wendell Carter Jr.